Yeah. Today we're talking about Whole Foods. Y'all got to do better. Come on, Whole Foods. We got to step it up, man. It's 2025, man. Y'all talking about 365. Selling this little product here. We're going to get into it, though. We're going to get into it, man. Yuka, an absolute game changer. I'm going to put my suggested video. Y'all check that out. I'm going to put the original I did, or the first one I did. You know what I'm saying? Download the app, man. The Yuka. We're going to get into it. Look at this. Look all harmless. You know what I'm saying? I'm just checking it out. And then I looking at the ingredient profile. I looked at it in the store and I said, man, let me check this thing out on Yuka. Normally I hit it with the Yuka in the store before I even buy it. You know what I'm saying? But I said, let me just check it out. Everything looking good to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just checking it out, thinking. So once I hit it with that Yuka app, y'all, I've got some disturbing news, man. Disturbing news, what I'm talking about. Look at everything, look all harmless. Look at that. Bam, poor. Additives. We got 1 high risk, 2 limited risk, and the 7 is supposed to be risk-free. But hey, man, it might be something you can find on them. But nevertheless, man, you know, the macros look good. 0 calories, no sugar, no saturated fat, 75 milligrams of low sodium. So, you know, that's a win, but let's get into it. Monopotassium phosphate is high risk. It's a stabilizer. Then you got your stevioglycoside, which is a sweetener, a calcium gum, texturizing agent. That's limited. You know, you got your other stuff in there. Vitamin B2, ascorbic acid. They saying that's fine, but there's discrepancies on some of them. Like, you know, wherever it's sourced from is we'll be getting that. Look, you got more there. Your citric acid, niacin, your tocopherol-rich extract. So those are the things, and the calcium chloride. What's that? Okay, let's get into it. Let's get to the high risk. Monopotassium phosphate stabilizer maintains the homogeneity of the product, preserves or intensifies the color. This additive contains phosphorus, a mineral whose current intake exceeds recommendations and whose excess could disrupt bone mineralization, have a detrimental effect on the kidneys, and increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases. Additionally, it could be associated with an increased risk of type 2 diabetes and breast cancer. Monopotassium phosphate. Phosphates have several functions: leavening agents, stabilizers, acidity regulators, and a humectant. They are found in bakery products, processed meats, dairy products, among others. Yeah, man, old monopotassium phosphate. Yeah, look what we uncovered here, hiding in the 365 alternative to vitamin water, man. Monopotassium phosphate. Phosphates contain phosphorus, a chemical element essential for the body, involved in numerous biochemical reactions and in bone mineral mass. Therefore, there is a recommended dietary allowance for phosphorus. It is naturally present in animal and plant products. However, according to a 2015 opinion by the French Agency for Food, Environmental and Occupational Health and Safety, phosphorus intake in Europe exceeds the RDA by 2 to 3 times, mainly due to the consumption of phosphate additives and high consumption of meat and dairy products. National surveys in the United States from 2015 to 2016 show a similar trend. Americans exceed recommended phosphorus levels by 1.5 to 3 times depending on your age group. Moreover, scientific reviews from 2013 to 2019 highlight that phosphorus intake in the U.S. is underestimated by more than 20% in nutritional databases. This underestimation may be worsened by the rise of fast food and out-of-home meals, where nutritional information is often missing or incomplete there, people. Rewind that back, man. All right. According to several studies conducted between 2012 and 2023, excess phosphorus could have various problematic effects. It is notably detrimental to the kidneys when the kidney's capacity to eliminate it is exceeded. Phosphorus can accumulate in the blood. Individuals with kidney disease must be particularly cautious. Excess phosphorus in the blood would disrupt calcium metabolism and bone mineralization, potentially leading to osteoporosis. It is also suspected to cause vascular calcification, which may be associated with higher cardiovascular mortality. Additionally, phosphates from food additives are more easily absorbed and may have more detrimental effects on cardiovascular health than those naturally present in foods, man. That's what they're saying. That's what's out here floating around, man. So you got to be careful with your intake of this monopotassium phosphate. You know what I'm saying? Frequency and volume, people. We got to practice that, man. You know, some people do the old man, the 1 meal a day, man. I don't, you know, I do that sometimes. Sometimes I might not eat nothing on a whole weekend, man. You know what I'm saying? Or Saturday. Studies conducted in 2023 and 2024 by the French National Institute of Health and Medical Research also suggest a link between high consumption of certain phosphate additives and increased risk of certain chronic diseases. These studies observed a 45% increase in premenopausal breast cancer risk for diophosphates and a 77% increase for potassium phosphate, a 15% increase in type 2 diabetes risk for potassium phosphate, and a 6% increase in coronary heart disease risk for sodium phosphate. However, states that the further research is needed to confirm these correlations. So they got to go a little bit deeper, people. But good gracious, we got something right here on the surface, something to look at. So that's something to think about, man. You buying that stuff, you know, 365, drinking that stuff every day, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. They loading up. Then you eating other stuff with that stuff in there too, man. They loading us up, man. Think about it, man. You smoke too much, drink too much, anything too much, man. The European Food Safety Authority estimated in 2019 that phosphate intake could exceed the acceptable daily intake for infants, children, and adolescents with a diet high in phosphates. Additionally, people with kidney disease, estimated to be 10% of the population, may not tolerate the ADI due to their vulnerability. Also concluded that current evidence is insufficient to establish a clear link between excess dietary phosphorus and cardiovascular diseases and recommended further studies. It is important to note that this opinion does not take into account the aforementioned 2024 study, which offers new perspectives. In the United States, phosphate additives have been generally recognized as safe by food, you know, the good old Food and Drug Administration, FDA, since according to U.S. regulation, their use is limited in certain product categories, industrial cheeses and acidified milks, bakery products, ice cream, jams, and cocoa-based products. For other product categories, there is no maximum amount to be adhered to. Between 2014 and 2016, several initiatives were launched in the U.S. to urge the FDA to mandate phosphorus content labeling on products. Organizations such as the American Society of Nephrology and the National Kidney Foundation led various actions to demand such labeling, to no avail so far. So the Kidney Society have been crying out, man, telling the old FDA, man, hey, man, we got to regulate this stuff, man. We got to cut down the dosage. You're talking about fentanyl, that's bad too, but this is slowless, one of them slow killers, y'all. We get loaded up and inundated on this stuff, man. I'm talking about, man, come on, man. Come on. Anyway, let's get into it. Additive, stabilizer, maintains the homogeneity of the product, preserves it. Okay, that's what I just wanted to show you down there, these little pictures, man. You see the little pictures down there, type 2 diabetes, adverse effects on the kidneys. I just wanted to show y'all that again with the monopotassium phosphate here. Look at that. This order, they got that little bone right there. This order bone mineralization exceeding of the ADI. Too much of this stuff in a diet, man. That's the stevioglycosides. Stevioglycosides are intense sweeteners. Sweeteners may promote metabolic disorders such as glucose intolerance. In addition, sweeteners may have no effect on weight control. This additive is relatively new and more research is needed on its long-term effects. Yeah, man, I remember back when when I was frequent at the health food store, still am, stevia hit the market, man. Boom, it's better than sucralose. Boom, I'm talking about stevia everywhere, man. Just like sriracha, the newest trend. But hey, there's some bad things about the stevia, man. Acacia gum, This additive is used as an emulsifier. Emulsifiers are believed to alter the gut microbiota. In addition, a recent study found that emulsifiers may be associated with the development of breast cancer. Nevertheless, the team in charge of the study noticed certain discrepancies, which means further studies are required at this stage to confirm this correlation, people. You see what I'm saying, people, man? Link to the breast cancer, link to the kidneys, link to, man, we got a whole lot of stuff to unpack here, man. I'm not talking about on this video. I'm just talking about when you looking at these ingredients and what's in the food, man. So Yuka, shout out to Yuka again, man. They asking 365 Whole Foods Market to remove this high-risk additive, man, and you can email through the app. How cool is that, man? Now, I don't know how far we getting, but I make sure I go up there and put my email in through them. So hopefully it's not falling on deaf ears, man. Why remove this additive? This additive contains phosphorus, a mineral whose current intake exceeds recommendation and whose excess could disrupt bone mineralization. We read that earlier, man, talking about the kidneys and type 2 diabetes, man. A lot of people running around here with diabetes, man. Type 2. You know what I'm saying, man? What can we do collectively? They say calling out the brand publicly or stop buying this stuff or via email, man. So that's why I like this. You can even comment on Instagram through the app, man. So here we go again. Look at that, looking all nice and innocent. They got vitamin water in there too, but this they brand, man. So I'm like, damn, you know, the alternative to vitamin water. Look at that. Look at the promotion, man. Look good on the label, man. Just want to dive in there, man. But not knowing that thing can hurt you, man. You drinking that 365. Come on, man. Yuka. Shout out to Yuka, man. You can let you know if there's danger around so you can make an informed decision, man. Y'all quit sleeping on this app, man. I'm telling you, man. Sometimes I don't have my glasses on. Sometimes I might read the ingredient list, get home, and what even. I said, what? I didn't see that in the store. The Yuka app is a free mobile scanner that evaluates the health impact of food and personal care products by analyzing their ingredients and providing ratings and recommendations for the healthier alternatives, man. So I'm telling you, man. We in a toxic world, man, so you got to cut back. You can't escape it, man, but you got to just cut back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Hit the Yuka app, man. Check out my vid that I did. Yuka, an absolute game changer. I'm going to put that on, the suggested here at the end, man. Yeah, man. Space time, man. Come on, Whole Foods. Y'all got to do better. You got to do better, man. They got it, Whole Foods, like, share, subscribe too. Yeah, Whole Foods, like, share, subscribe. But now y'all out there watching, man, like, share, subscribe, man. Can't do that 365, man. Come on, man. A lot of people out here on dialysis and stuff, breast cancer and stuff, type 2 diabetes. Peace, man. Space time.